What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on a recent post that I saw Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah Thomas, the comment was that Isaiah Thomas said that he thinks that LeBron James, let me read it right here. He thinks that LeBron James would have won 12 consecutive 12 consecutive championships had he played with Phil Jackson. So let me read it though. If Phil Jackson were LeBron James' coach, I think he would have won 12 consecutive championships in his career. And that's what Isaiah Thomas said about LeBron James. And so, in my opinion, Isaiah Thomas, because of his dislike for Michael Jordan, always he always take a advantage of the opportunity to big up LeBron James. And so every time he get an opportunity to give LeBron James a lap dance, man, he just, like I say, he just take advantage of it. And to me, I think Isaiah Thomas like loses a lot of credibility when he makes these kind of statements, especially when people know, like I said, how he feel about Michael Jordan. Um, the reason why LeBron James would have never won 12 championships or dominated to the level of Kobe or Mike or anybody that was a dominant basketball player is because that LeBron James he had an opportunity to play for a in an organization that had Pat Riley, with the Miami Heat. And he didn't want to do that. LeBron James didn't want to do that because LeBron James is too selfish of a ball player to have played for a coach like Phil Jackson. He didn't want to play for Pat Riley after Pat Riley let LeBron James know that he wasn't going to be able to run the show. So like LeBron James has always had the my way or the highway type of attitude. And I think that had LeBron James had the right attitude and he would have stayed with the Miami Heat, he probably would have won multiple championships. But then he had to be the kind of player who was open to and receptive to the kind of coaching and the kind of general managers that would set him up and put him in a position to win. But because LeBron James is so he's so selfish, and LeBron James thinks that he could do it all himself. He didn't allow himself to be put in that type of position. So when Isaiah Thomas make that statement that LeBron James would have been, he would have won 12 consecutive championships. It's not true because, like I said, he took himself out of position where as though he could have been Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra would have made sure that year after year they would have built a team around LeBron James that would have helped LeBron James become the dominant ball player that he could have been. LeBron James never really did that. He never really wanted to work on his game. Instead of getting better in different areas every year, LeBron James just wanted to he just wanted to bring players in that could do the things that he couldn't do. Like for instance, like the mid-range game. You bring in people who can shoot that mid-range shot. The three-point shot, you bring in people who can shoot the three-point shot. A low post game. He never learned how to um to play with his back to the basket. So he didn't, because he would go and he would get people like what's the guy name? The guy who played with him in Miami, the low post ball player. So he never really took the time to develop his game to the point where as though he could different things that make him a threat. His game was offensively was very limited. And that's just not me saying that. That's, you know, um, Dennis Rodman even said that about his game, that, it would be easy to play LeBron James because he's limited. Other NBA ball players have said the same thing, that LeBron James' game is very limited. He's very predictable. Um, Kevin Garnett, said that, they wanted LeBron James to shoot because he didn't work on his jumper. So when he shot the ball, everybody was just looking for the rebound. What was the other the team? The Spurs, they stopped LeBron James from just uh uh you know burling his way to the goal, and they also made LeBron James a jump shooter. So when you lose like LeBron James did, you lose championships, multiple championships the same way, it's evident that he did not work on his game. So, like the the blueprint to beat LeBron James has always been the same, to make LeBron James a jump shooter. Um, and when you do that, 6 out of 10 times you're gonna have some success. So when Isaiah Thomas come out and he make these statements about LeBron James would have been he would have won 12 consecutive championships. That just, it just, like I said, it just lessens Isaiah Thomas his credibility. You know, I don't even think LeBron James believed that had he played for Phil Jackson, he would have won 12 championships. Not consecutively, not ever. He did go, he played in a championship 10 times. And like I said, he lost 6 times out of the 10. That's not, you lose 60% of the time. That, more than half the time, that's not really good. I mean, I guess it's good to a certain extent because you made it 10 times, but he's the only so-called generational type ball player, or one of the guys that's a GOAT. He's the only one who has a losing record as far as like in the championships. Kobe Bryant don't have a losing record in championships. Steph Curry don't have a losing record when he get to the championships. Who else don't have? Kevin Durant don't have a losing record. Larry Bird don't have a losing record in championships. Like LeBron James is the only high profile generational type ball player that has a losing record when it comes to championships. Magic Johnson don't have a losing record when it comes to championship. So he's the only one. And the reason why LeBron James has a losing record in championship is not because he didn't have the right coaching. It's because of LeBron James. LeBron James did not have the right attitude when it came to surrounding himself with people that was going to set him up and put him in a position to win. He could not have played, just like he didn't want to play for Pat Riley. LeBron James could not have played for Phil Jackson. A coach like Phil Jackson was just too honest and too blunt for LeBron James. A coach like Phil Jackson would have done exactly what Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley did. They would have rubbed LeBron James the wrong way. And once you rub LeBron James the wrong way, he not gonna want to be there. You got to tell LeBron James what LeBron James want to hear. If not, then LeBron James is not going to play with you because he think he can do it all himself. And so the statement that Isaiah made is just, to me, I don't know, it just exposes Isaiah as somebody who is, like I said, a Michael Jordan hater. And to be honest, I think if Michael Jordan had a done the things to me that he did to Isaiah Thomas, as far as like keeping him out of the Olympics, I would be upset with Michael Jordan too. But at a certain point in time, you either gotta get over it, um, or you gotta let it go, because if you can't get revenge and you steady just hanging on to that, I just think it just eats you up and it just makes you bitter. And that's what Isaiah Thomas is looking like. He's looking like somebody who's bitter, you know. Yeah, I think that what Mike did. If Mike did keep Isaiah Thomas out of those Olympics, I think that was messed up, But I don't know. I think Isaiah Thomas just really need to get over it because, like I said, he's looking bitter and he's losing credibility when when he keeps coming out here and giving LeBron James these lap dances and stuff like that. It's just not a good look for a 60-year-old man to be giving LeBron James, a 40-year-old man, a lap dance. It's just not a good look. So that's my take on it. Make sure to make sure to like and subscribe. And also don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I'll check you all out on the next video. Peace.